There you have it. They've been pushing it off, pushing it off, pushing it off. Last actual forecast I saw was, oh, it's going to be Monday. Probably won't be Sunday, but it'll be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. This is Saturday morning. This is the day after they started saying it was going to rain. Cows are kind of spread out. Most of them are right there, I think. And you know what that's going to be like this morning. Don't matter how hard you wash one of those things off. I mean, unless you get down with the pressure washer and a little soap, there's always a little slickum. And the ground's slightly wet underneath it. I think I'll push it back where I can lay on the concrete and cut those others off. I hope. And it washed through here pretty good by the looks of it. Got up into the barn. Well, actually, I shouldn't say it was washed. That wet spot inside over there wasn't from washing down. That was from wind blowing. Which it blew most of the night. They got a little in here. And there's the brats. They think they want fed. You know how that is. So, I'm hoping to get number one and number two started over in the calf barn this morning with the pressure washers, and hopefully they can at least get it done. There, a little bit of light. Give me a little more here. I already showed you what it looked like yesterday. Move a tractor and then they can bring in the wheeled squeegee, because that's kind of in the way. The wheeled squeegee won't make it through here. Not that it works so much as a squeegee, but I tell you what, it's a lot better scraper than this old thing. Although, still got to have this one for certain places, because the big one just doesn't fit in. So, yeah, we'll get you something more later today. Maybe I'll get some of those two blasting stuff in here. Usually try to knock the cobwebs and such down. But, yeah, last year, I don't even remember if we did any pressure washing last year. Year before, not everything got done, but usually everything gets done, and it's a few days to do it, as you can imagine. The whole feeder to do, the whole floor to do, gates. Gates actually probably take the most time, but they're not too bad to do because you're not leaning over looking at the floor. I try to avoid being the one to do it, but I have done it. I'm usually running the powered scraper there. So, and hey, while I'm thinking about it, some of you probably remember him, Simon Priestman. He's from the UK. His wife's from Canada. They lived in the UK. They were going to move back to Canada just almost a year ago, and things got screwed up. When they finally did do it, was right at the beginning of COVID, and he got stuck back in the UK trying to sell their old house until almost 2 months ago, I guess, month and a half ago. He messaged me this morning. He's finally got his phone with the Canadian number and a Canadian SIM card and got all these stuff taken care of. So now he's back online. So hopefully he watches my videos again. I mean, he is messaging me. So, Simon, glad you're back. I hope to see you in the comments. Miss seeing you. And I don't even know, he hasn't seen much of that thing either. Well, actually, he would have seen when we got it anyway. Oh well, I gotta get some feeding done. And number one's here. The girls did a sleepover in Mom's basement last night, which means she probably won't be out here till 9 or 10 o'clock. She's slow when she stays here. if they learn how to go to bed and sleep at night. You know, just got to give her some crap. And Rainey could care less if she gets fed or not, but she wants to eat, so does Whiskey. You all right, bud? Okay. Yeah, let's see if this works. You may not see much. Off to the right of the screen, there's a sprocket. I'm going to go see if I can at least get part of a cut on it. And then I'm going to come shut you back off. There, part of a cut. Cut the tooth off so I can finish the cut. That's what you get to see. What? Do you miss? Oh man, I goofed up on hitting the button. Right when I shut it off, she went, She
Backwards?
put her rubbers on backwards. Go! Yeah, she's going to go start pressure washing.
Yeah, Boogie is too.
And number 2 is going to join her.
We're going to do that board first.
And hopefully I remember here in a little bit, I'll go down and get a little bit of them. Probably having a water fight. Finally. Out of the 2 we usually use, that one won't start. So, number 2 I had to sneak up and grab Grandma's fancy Subaru. Then it didn't want to start, but once it actually had gas in it, it fired right up. So, there's the beginning of it. Number 1's down there in the shadows with the other one. And I just got a phone call. I got to go to town and pick up a couple of sprockets. Amazing, they actually came in today. Okay, shaft is on its way out, slowly. I'm hoping there's not too much scale on it to get through that center bearing. Got another piece of shaft I'm using to drive it out with, and it's not going easy. Using a short-handled 5-pound sledge. And guess what? Yep. Not that I missed. I hit all right. I hit my wrist pretty good, so I'm sitting there for a few minutes with an ice pack on it. This kind of reminds me I was going to say something in yesterday's video. I imagine most of you, if you're not subscribed to Welker Farms, you've at least heard of them. LegArms, aka Scott Welker, dropped the drawbar off there. I believe it was under 600 Big Bud, and broke his arm. Broke both bones just up from the wrist. So he's chilling out in the hospital yet, as far as I know. They've been keeping people more up to date on Facebook and on, I don't know, Instagram or whatever else they're on. I keep looking to see if they put anything on YouTube. Apparently they do have a video coming. He was only one there working in the shop by himself. Everybody else was gone. That's what I've heard anyway. First thing I heard, it really didn't sound good. You know, he crushed it and all this stuff. Well, no, he ended up breaking it. He did do some muscle damage and that kind of thing. And yeah, I've been there, done that. He's young yet. He'll pay for that later. About another 20 or 30 years. Trust me. Anyway, I just wanted to get it out there on YouTube. Extend my well wishes to him. I'm sure he'll never see this. You know, they ain't got much interest in a little podunk channel from Northwest Oregon, where all we seem to do is play in the poop, right? So, but you never know. You know, Nick used to reply back to my comments, and Robert too. I haven't. I watch their videos once in a while. I haven't commented on many for quite a while, but of course I have commented on a couple of posts they put up about Scott busting his arms. So anyway, we're getting closer. All the parts are here now. The one thing I forgot about is the roll pins that hold those in place on the shaft. And so of course I ask while I'm in there, and at least when you look it up, it does tell you what they are. They're supposed to be 5/16 by 2 3/4. That's a bastard size. I mean, 5/16 ain't, it's the 2 3/4. And what was in here was obviously 2.5, because 2 3/4 would be flush on the edge of the housing on both sides on the sprocket. So, hey, made our trip down to Ace, since the IH dealer had absolutely zero. Best he could do was sell me 2 1/2-ers and for each one. That don't work very well. So Ace Hardware had them. Biggest thing they had was 2.5-inch long. So I have everything, and my wrist at the moment's feeling a little bit better. So I don't know how bad I want to grab a hold of that over there again, but not like I got a lot of choice. Lay out, dog. There, you can see how far I've gotten it. It's about, probably 3.5, 4 inches. Well, actually, maybe more than that, because I'm already through there with where the sprocket goes. Both keyholes are to the other side of it. Hopefully it goes good the rest of the way. It's not in a real good spot to clean the shaft up. And then hopefully it'll slide out the rest of the way without too much trouble. Going back in ought to be easier, because I'll get that thing up, and where I need to, I'll clean it up. And yeah, I cut into the shaft a little bit, cutting it, but I ain't worried about that. That goes back together. That'll get smeared full of little anti-seize, and maybe in another 40 years, when somebody's got to do that again, I won't have to worry about it. I don't think it'll ever get done again. And getting these old ones out, I know why they put a brand new chain in it not long before they got rid of it, because there's another one they repaired. There's been just about one on every sprocket, I think, been repaired. So, had they done this when they put the new chain in, I wouldn't have to do it now. We've run the thing, I don't know, 8 years anyway, I suppose, maybe longer. Picked this thing up just about the same time we got the big Massey, because we're not licensed to run out of state, so we couldn't go out of state to pick that tractor up. I made a phone call to a dealer down at Tillamook, and I said, hey, I know you run over there all the time. You get that thing across the river for us? And he goes, sure. He says, hey, right where I'm going. He says, I got a customer each side of that. And it was about 2 weeks before we were able to get down there and pick it up. And picking it up and talking to him, and the boys had this thing in the shop. They were putting the new bearing on the front drive shaft. And $2,500, you can have it. We'll just finish this bearing and you finish the rest. Cool, okay. So it was delivered a week later when he got the chance to, because obviously we didn't have room for it once we put the tractor on. That, and it's a little wide. I don't remember how he had it on. I remember we ended up having to pick it up. We lifted it off with the loaders, and the axle swung around, and then we had to figure out which direction we wanted them. So that's how she hit the ground. But it's so far been a good one. Other than the fact that the tractor we run it on, we can't shut the PTO all the way off. Well, shut it off, but the brake don't work. It just slows it down, unless you leave a pile of manure right against the beaters. If you're into the good heavier stuff, that'll stop it and hold it. You can drive all day long and it won't turn. But that's enough rambling. God, that's 7 minutes. I might call this the end of it for you today. Only got a couple more hours before I call it an end of a day anyway. And the only rain we got was after my first part of this video where we got a ½ inch. We got almost another ¼ inch in a shower about 20 minutes later. So other than that, it hasn't done squat. We'll see. Supposed to be 100% chance of rain today and 90% tomorrow, or 80% tomorrow, I guess. But yeah, it rained. It's here. It's done. Who knows? I think it's supposed to do it off and on for the next week. So anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Please like and subscribe if you haven't. And say if you haven't done so yet, go over to Welker's and wish Scott the best in his recovery. I know he's going to be a while. I've done a little bit of that muscle and tendon and ligament damage before, and I'd rather break a bone 6 weeks and you're done, but the rest of it you're 6 months. Then when you can finally do anything, they call him LegArms for a reason. And he's going to have one arm that's going to be a little small. He can't really do anything with it and for another at least 6 or 8 weeks, and then after that they probably won't let him do anything. So anyway, thanks for watching, everybody.